Imagine a gleaming badge, forged in metal, emblazoned with a proud crest. For generations, it meant more than just a car. It was a symbol of ingenuity, of British craftsmanship, of a nation's industrial might. You saw it on the driveways of the respectable, the aspirational, the everyday heroes. From roaring sports cars to dependable family saloons, these vehicles were the backbone of an empire, both literal and metaphorical. But empires crumble, and even the most solid foundations can crack under immense pressure. This is the story of MG Rover Group, the final desperate chapter of a once mighty automotive legacy, a company sold for the price of a takeaway, but whose downfall cost a nation its pride. Step back to mid-20th century Britain. The air hums with the promise of industry. The factory floors in places like Longbridge and Cowley vibrate with the rhythmic clang of metal and the smell of oil. British engineering is a global byword, and brands like Austin, Morris, Rover, and MG are at its very heart, building cars that define an era. The Mini, the Land Rover, the Rover P6. These aren't just vehicles. They are icons, testament to a nation's ingenuity. By 1968, in a grand attempt to consolidate this power and compete with global giants, a new behemoth is forged, British Leyland. It's an ambitious merger, bringing together nearly every significant British car manufacturer under one banner. On paper, it is a powerhouse, a national champion poised to dominate. But beneath the surface, the cracks are already forming. British Leyland is too big, too unwieldy. Its sprawling empire is plagued by internal rivalries, fragmented management, and a relentless tide of industrial disputes. Strikes become commonplace, production lines halt, and quality control suffers. The perception of British cars slowly shifts from innovative and reliable to unreliable and outdated. By 1975, the company is on its knees, teetering on the brink of collapse. The government steps in, nationalizing the struggling giant in a desperate attempt to save tens of thousands of jobs in a crucial industry. Over the next 2 decades, British Leyland, rebranded first as BL then Rover Group, attempts numerous comebacks, forging partnerships with Honda, launching new models like the Rover 200 and 400. Yet the deep-seated problems persist: underinvestment, a fragmented identity, and a global marketplace that is rapidly accelerating past its capabilities. By the early 1990s, the company is once again in dire straits, a relic of a bygone era. The once proud empire now seems destined to fade into history. But then, a glimmer of hope appears on the horizon, a potential savior from an unexpected direction. We shift to the hushed minimalist boardrooms of Munich in 1994. The air is thick with anticipation, the weight of corporate decisions hanging heavy. Here in the heart of Germany's automotive giant, a bold gamble is being made. BMW, renowned for its precision engineering and luxury vehicles, announces a stunning acquisition. It will purchase the entire Rover Group from British Aerospace for $800 million. The move sends shockwaves through the industry. For Rover, it feels like salvation. Here is a company with deep pockets, engineering prowess, and a global vision. Surely they can finally turn the tide for the struggling British marque. BMW's initial commitment is substantial. They pour over $2 billion into modernizing factories, developing new models, and revitalizing the aging brand. They launched the new Rover 75, a critically acclaimed luxury saloon that finally harks back to the company's glory days of quality and sophistication. The Longbridge plant in Birmingham sees massive investment, becoming a state-of-the-art facility. But behind the scenes, a culture clash is brewing. BMW's rigid, data-driven approach often grates against Rover's more traditional, at times idiosyncratic, British engineering culture. The financial drain on BMW is immense. Rover consistently loses money, becoming a significant drag on the German parent company's balance sheet. By 1999, after years of trying to make the acquisition work, BMW's patience wears thin. CEO Bernd Pischetsrieder faces mounting pressure from shareholders. The dream of a synergistic partnership sours. In March 2000, BMW makes a dramatic decision. They announce the sale of Land Rover to Ford for $1.8 billion, recouping some of their losses. And then, for the core Rover car business, a different fate. Against all expectations, BMW sells the heart of Rover Group, including the Longbridge plant, and the MG Rover brands. Not to another automotive giant, but to a newly formed consortium of 4 British businessmen, the Phoenix Consortium, led by former Rover CEO John Towers. The price? A symbolic $10. A proud industrial icon, bought for the cost of a few pints. The British public is aghast, but the Phoenix 4 promise a new dawn, a fresh start for a beloved brand. They vow to resurrect MG Rover. But this new dawn quickly reveals itself to be a desperate race against time, fueled by dwindling resources and a brutal market. The year is 2000. Rain slicked the streets around Longbridge, a grim gray sky hanging over the factory. Yet there's a flicker of renewed hope among the workers as the Phoenix 4 take control. They renamed the company MG Rover Group, focusing on the strength of the sports car brand alongside the traditional Rover line. The initial mood is optimistic. The Phoenix 4 are British. They understand the heritage, and they promise to bring the company back from the brink. They quickly launch new models, like the MG ZS and ZT, sporty derivatives of existing Rover cars, attempting to inject fresh excitement. However, the reality of their inheritance is stark. MG Rover is a company stripped of its most valuable assets, like Land Rover, and burdened with outdated technology and massive pension liabilities. The promised capital injections don't materialize quickly enough. Without a large corporate parent, they struggle to invest in entirely new models, relying instead on refreshing existing platforms. The world of automotive manufacturing is fiercely competitive, demanding billions in R&D, something MG Rover simply does not possess. The Phoenix 4 embark on a frantic search for a strategic partner, a white knight who can provide the necessary capital and technology. They negotiate with numerous companies, from Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation, SAIC, in China, to Proton from Malaysia. Each deal falls through, often at the last minute, as potential partners realize the immense scale of the challenge and the financial black hole. The Phoenix 4 themselves draw criticism, accused of enriching themselves while the company spiraled. By early 2005, the situation is critical. Production slows. Suppliers refuse to deliver parts without upfront payment, and the Longbridge plant grinds to a halt. Thousands of jobs hang by a thread. The Labour government, under Prime Minister Tony Blair, intervenes in a last-ditch attempt to broker a deal with SAIC, offering emergency loans. But it's too late. On April 8, 2005, MG Rover Group collapses into administration. Around 6,000 workers at Longbridge lose their jobs overnight, their world shattering with a single announcement. The finality of it all is devastating, a symbolic end to Britain's mass-market car manufacturing. The dreams, the innovations, the national pride embodied in those gleaming badges, all gone. The story of MG Rover isn't just a business failure, it's a profound lesson in the crushing weight of legacy and how even the most beloved institutions can buckle under the relentless march of global economic change.